How's it going, kiddos? Handsome Jack Boy here, bringing you guys the third episode of my Borderlands 2 Legendary Weapons Guide. I did eventually decide that I wanted to bring back this series. You guys seem to want it to return, so here it is. My Borderlands 2 Legendary Weapons Guide is back, and that also means that I'm going to be returning to my Borderlands 2 E-Tech Guide pretty soon here. I do want to finish that as well. I feel pretty bad for not finishing that. I did that to continue Yodi's legacy. You know, that was something that he never got to do. The reason I didn't, though, was because it was a lot of work, and at that time period I didn't really have a lot of time on my hands. But now I do have quite a bit of time, and I know I can get back into that. So expect that pretty soon. Alright, so without further ado, let's actually get into this. So in this episode, I'm going to be covering the Unkempt Herald. The prefix for mine is double penetrating Unkempt Herald. The prefix for you guys might change. Now, as you can see there in the red text, it says, did I fire 6 shots or only 5? 3? 7? Whatever. That means that the Unkempt Herald fires 7 shots in an accelerating horizontal spread at the cost of 3 ammo per shot. Now there's a couple methods to getting this weapon. I'm going to be showing you the first method to getting this, and that's through farming Savage Lee right here in Three Horns Divide. There's a few places that he can spawn, which are indicated by the yellow circles on the map. The first 2 locations are really close to the fast travel station, but he typically spawns right there at the 3rd location. That's where I get him to spawn most of the time, but he is a guaranteed spawn. It's just random at which location he actually spawns at. You want to hope that he does either at the 1st or 2nd location, because those are, again, right next to the fast travel. So if you're farming this and you fast traveled here to Three Horns, you're going to spawn at that fast travel station every time you save and quit and come back in, which is, you know, of course, how I recommend farming this. But in this case, he spawned at the 3rd location. But one way to tell if he spawned at the 1st or 2nd locations is that you'll see red blips on the radar indicating that he's fighting bullywongs, because that's what he does. When he spawns in, he'll fight bullywongs. So if you don't see any red blips in those 2 areas, then that means he's at the 3rd location, because again, he is a guaranteed spawn. But I did get the gun to drop. Sadly, it was OP7 and not OP8. But I decided to keep farming to try to get an OP8 version, and I finally did. It really doesn't take that long to get this thing to drop. I only spent like 20 minutes farming before I finally got the OP8 variation. Now, the other method to farming for this gun is through the Torg vending machines within the Mr. Torg's Campaign of Carnage DLC. It has a chance to be the item of the day, and it's pretty common to actually get it as the item of the day. But either method you choose to get this gun, you're going to want to try to get the double penetrating prefix, and the reason being is because there's 2 horizontal rows of projectiles fired instead of just 1. Anyway, so right here I'm showing gameplay of the Unkempt Herald in action, and let me tell you guys, this is one of the best weapons in the game. You're going to see how just absolutely devastating this gun can be, even on OP8. This gun is just a monster. But Salvador is definitely the best character to use the Unkempt Herald with, combined with the Grog Nozzle. It's one of the best combinations that you can do. You can pretty much get the idea by watching this footage. But it really doesn't matter what character you use this gun on. It's going to do great nonetheless. And it's definitely a good weapon to get early on in a playthrough, especially on UVHM. When things start to get really tough, it's definitely a weapon you want to get early in the playthrough. Savage Lee is probably the better way to get this gun early on, unless you want to get like a particular variation of this gun. Perfect part combination, for example, then farming the Torg vending machine is probably the best way to go. But if you're a new player, just got the game, then Savage Lee is the way to go because it's a lot more simple. The Torg DLC requires you to, of course, have the DLC, and you don't need to progress that far into the DLC to actually farm the vending machines, but doing it early on, like on playthrough 1 or something, low level, isn't really a good idea. But I don't know how many times this thing has come in handy. It's been a lifesaver. It kind of becomes a necessity later on, especially OP8. And getting to OP8. Surprisingly, I don't think it's ever been nerfed. I could be wrong about that, but I'm kind of glad they didn't, but at the same time, I kind of wish they did. The reason I'm glad they didn't is because it's just a really popular weapon, really iconic, overall an awesome weapon, and it's just a blast to use in my opinion. Get it? A blast to use? Yeah, terrible puns. But the reason I think they should have nerfed it is balancing reasons. If it's something you kind of have to rely on, then, you know, I think it needs to be nerfed. But if they nerfed it, especially now, which I highly doubt they will, a pretty good amount of people would get upset. At least I think so. I would cheerly for the fact that they would be doing it so late. If they would have nerfed this a long time ago, like when they nerfed the B shield, then I think I would have been okay with it. But you guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments, how you'd feel about that. Anyways, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys appreciate me doing these guides. I know this game has been covered into infinitum. I know there's already plenty of weapon guides out there, but the reason why I'm coming back to this series is because there's not a lot of OP8 weapon guides out there. I don't know if I'm going to end up completing this series. I'm definitely going to try to. It depends on what you guys want to see. But like I said, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'm out of here. Peace!